There is no product that we have promoted more on Fightful that I use while I'm awake than NordVPN.com/Fightful. You guys have probably seen me anchored to my desk an awful lot for quite a while, and I've always got NordVPN on all my devices. That's because that's what NordVPN.com/Fightful allows. You get the fastest VPN in the world on all your devices, on all your operating systems. It is so beneficial to have that versatility. Here at home, I put it on my router just in case, and I put it on my phone, laptop, desktop, PC, and smart TV. That allows you to get all the benefits. The online threat protection, the ability to change your virtual location with just one click, the ability to use that NordPass password manager, the file encryption tool, all that good stuff on everything. Also, you can subscribe to all those overseas services I'm telling you all about, all with 24/7 tech support and a 30-day money-back guarantee on top of an already amazing deal. Protect yourself on all your devices with NordVPN.com/Fightful. Ross Sapp, Fightful, here with a name you know, Wrestlecade. We spoke to her last year at Wrestlecade when she was just getting started in wrestling. Now she's traveling all over the place. She's back here signing autographs in North Carolina. We got Emily Jaye. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Things have really been advancing for you. I see you traveling all over the place. Like every weekend, you're in a new place.
Oh, yeah.
How has that been for you? Because, I mean, the miles are such a huge part of what you do.
So I got a new car when I first started, and I bought it with 60,000 miles on it. It is now at 87,000 miles.
60 to 87 isn't a lot.
In like less than a year?
Yeah,
I got
not that bad.
I don't want to hear it.
A lot of people would love that. But anyway, I mean, I see you working a lot of different places. I see you working like a lot of like different experience levels as well. Like you've worked some people who have popped up in WWE.
Yep.
You've worked people who are mainstays on the indies. Who in the ring have you learned the most from? Like you had a match and you're like, okay, this makes sense, this makes sense.
Renee Michelle, 110%.
Because you learned how to get kicked in that match.
I did. But it was a very good learning experience. When we called the match, she was like, do you know how to do this? Have you ever done it? I was like, no, but just tell me what I need to do, and we're going to make it work. And I learned so much from her, even though her kick hurt so bad.
It sounded like it hurt.
I'm so glad the camera caught it, where I was like, I cannot breathe. But she is definitely at the top of the list.
Yeah, that's the one, like, when I asked that question, I was like, probably Renee, because I remember I even sent that to her husband, and her husband saw the kick, and he was like, does she know it's a work? Does she know this isn't supposed to be real? I mean, she laid it in. How did it feel once that unfolded, once that happened? Like, probably the hardest you've been hit in the ring?
Most definitely. I was like, oh, my God. Because I had to do my comeback right after. And I was like, bro, I can't breathe. I was like, I need to breathe for a second.
How are you learning, like, to adjust your offense? Like, I think a lot of people can't tell you sitting here. You're very tall. You're like 5'9"?
I'm 5'9".
5'9"? So, I mean, like, just physically, I mean, sometimes as you wrestle people, you're going to be wrestling people a foot shorter than you. Or almost a foot shorter.
Angelica Risk is a great example of that. She is 5 feet tall.
Okay.
If not shorter. So when it was me and her, she was the bad guy. And I'm like, we are about to confuse so many people right now. But we made it work. It's pretty much all about adjusting. And I'm glad that I finally understand how to adjust in the ring. And yeah.
We talked before about your training. You were at Flatbacks with Tyler Breeze, Shawn Spears. Shawn Spears is here today.
Love him.
Do you still maintain contact with them? And if so, what type of advice do they provide?
Most definitely. I continue to have contact with both of them. They help me in situations where I feel like they can help me most at. I talk to them about certain bookings. I talk to them about certain workers. I talk to them about my matches, my promos, and they always give me the best feedback. And I'm so grateful to have them as my trainers and have them there to support me.
We also spoke about Heath, who you've talked about in numerous interviews.
My dad.
I interviewed him for the first time just a few months ago. Now we're buddies. Me and Heath are buddies now.
He's the best. I told you.
I'm taking him from you. He's my friend now.
You are not taking my dad from me.
He's my friend. First your mom, next your dad.
All right now. All right now.
What? We can't drop a Michelle Hale reference here?
No.
You can't do that?
No.
The Butter Hall of Fame inductee, Michelle Hale, the legend.
This is about Heath, not Mama Hale.
But she is very supportive of you.
Oh, so supportive. Love
Very
her.
supportive. Loves to travel with you. Loves to come see you. Loves to come cheer you on.
Loudest person in the crowd.
Loves to come yell at your opponents.
Most definitely.
Has she done anything to embarrass you yet?
Yes.
What would that be?
So I was in a dead crowd in North Carolina, and she was the loudest person
Yeah.
and started getting in my opponent's face.
She would have been a great pro wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
She
She's
would
like,
have been
I'm going to
great.
be your manager. And I'm like, no, you're not. We are not letting you set foot in that ring, actually, because she's scary. She's very scary.
Oh, she is. From like a character standpoint, how do you look to develop? Like, how do you decide what's working for you, what's not working for you? I know your presentation is something that like you're always getting new gear. You're always making
New gear this weekend, y'all.
There you go. You're always making sure that like you look different every few months for something like that.
Most definitely, and that's something very important, is to always continue to evolve the way you look, because I was always taught, like, you want to be presented the way you want people to see you. So I think looking very presentable and having nice gear and having a nice look to you is almost, if not as important as the actual wrestling. Because you could be an amazing wrestler, but you could have very cheaply made gear or something that doesn't look like gear, and you're immediately at the bottom of the list for me.
What's your favorite part about being in the ring? 'Cause I know this is something you've wanted to do since you were very, very little. Your mom does post pictures of you when you were a very, very little kid. You had your posters, the big grin on your face.
I'm Heath's kid sign.
Now you're doing it.
My favorite part is literally doing the damn thing.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. Literally, like, I've dreamed about this since I was a kid. So to see it actually come to life, it's amazing to see. And every time I walk out that curtain, I am nervous as hell. But as soon as I get in there, I'm like, this is where I'm meant to be.
So, next weekend, I have my first match in 6 years.
Yep. I ain't gonna be there.
You're not going to be there, but I could use your support in another way. I want your advice on how I should kick Shazza McKenzie's ass.
I love Shazza.
Listen, no.
Dang it.
I have asked MJF. I have asked Dakota Kai, Steve Macklin, Deonna Purrazzo. Now I'm asking Emily Jaye, a youngster in wrestling. A youngster in wrestling. Like, what are some new tricks that I can pull out of my sleeve?
Shazza's a great wrestler.
Well, that's I wouldn't say that at all.
Don't come at her like that.
I wouldn't say that at all. In fact, I would say the opposite. That's what I'm proving, is that I can just get off the couch cold and beat her in a wrestling match.
You better have all the hope in the entire world, honestly. Because you going to get your ass kicked.
No, I'm not. Anyway, tell the people where they can support you, where they can follow you, where they can check you out on social media, the real, verified, actual Emily Jaye accounts.
I'm at Emily Jaye Pro on all social medias. It's X, not Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook, everything. So you can find me at Emily Jaye Pro.
Emily, it's always great. We'll be back here next year talking
Yes.
to you again. Every year, Wrestlecade will be here. Emily Jaye. Until the next time, guys, we're out.